So what that tells us is that perfection actually gets in the way. It's us being authentic. It's us being authentic that naturally magnetizes people to you. You're naturally lovable, you're naturally likable, you're naturally more likely to get deals when you are authentic than when you are perfect, but delivering something perfectly. We've got to understand this. This is a false narrative. Society, social media, and a lot of the entertainment industry, right? A lot of the films are pushing this agenda, setting this narrative that we need to have perfect hair, perfect makeup, perfect clothes, a perfect life. That is what is leading to disaster globally. This is the reason why so many of us are struggling with depression, mostly anxiety. We've got all of these false ideas because we're consistently comparing ourselves to one another. And comparison is really the killer of dreams. It's authenticity that's the key. When you dare to step into the authentic you're going to attract so much more people to you because it is attractive. It is attractive just being you. And people, we need to get over this idea that, I don't know, having the perfect makeup, the perfect hair, perfect clothes. I've got to have the perfect life. I've got to have the perfect what? I literally, I've got no makeup. We have so many people of all ages. It's not just the teenagers, it's also the adults who are, in depression, seeking help. And it's because they have this idea that they need to be perfect, but it's not true. We've built up beliefs that are self-limiting, that we're not lovable, that we're not good enough, that we're not worthy, that we're not deserving. We all have these negative beliefs that we've built up. And if we still have them, then we tend to attract situations where this belief comes up to the surface. So it's time to write a new story. Like I said, nothing means anything except the meaning you attach to it. You can build anything. You can build your own empire, and that's what you're here to do. You're here to, give to the world. And what it is really, it's all about knowledge. The difference between you and the next level version of yourself is really just acquiring knowledge. And that's it. And you do that from a place of curiosity, by always being open, by challenging yourself, by being open to growth, by creating change and asking for change and, and flowing with it. Turn the page. It's a new chapter, even a new book. Everything is pointed towards one direction, which is your expansion towards your deeper understanding of you. And sometimes it can be so in your face. It's almost like the universe is saying, hey, do you get it yet? If we didn't have so much chaos in the mind, we get things done quicker. That's the challenge. It's to bypass the analytical mind and understand your greatness. We've got to get out of our own way. Every single thing that comes up from every person, every word you read, see, hear, every single thing, even the tiniest fraction, is all there to enable you to discover who you really are. As you use curiosity as your guiding tool, it's like you start to put the pieces together. Curiosity is the number one element for learning. But we stopped being curious the moment that we were kind of dumbed into suppression by this society, the education system. We were told to keep our feet on the ground, keep our head out of the clouds, criticized, rejected. It's no wonder that most of us really struggle to believe that our dreams are actually possible. But they are. Although we all live in the same, we can live in the same house, we can live in the same town, we can live in the same neighborhood, but each of us is living a different story. It's more of a struggle when family is concerned, to be the authentic self when everyone around you is expecting you to show up as the same person you've always been. And it's in our nature to grow from that. We're not meant to be the same person with the same personality. And, you know, we're meant to evolve from that. But it's very difficult for people, especially of the older generation, to understand that. So you see how we've expected our family to be in a certain way. And we expect life to play out in a certain way. But if you can change that narrative behind the scenes, and you can start to expect a different reality, you'll start to see it change. The universe is responding not just to your vibration, but to your expectations, to what you have established that is your idea of the normal reality. If you can change that and you start building it up from the inside out, you're going to see things change in your outer reality. And it's incredible when it starts to happen. It's in your best interests, and it's in the best interests of your family, your loved ones, your friends, your neighborhood, your town, the country, and the planet, that you eradicate self-limiting beliefs and you start to see people differently. Now, you would think that it's not possible for us to project onto other people. In a certain way, you're right. We can't fix people. You're not put here to fix people. For so many years, I thought I have to fix, and I was too busy people pleasing, fixing everybody. That's not the way. We've got to heal ourselves. And by healing ourselves, it's like unlocking the hidden layers. And as you go through life, you'll discover more and more and more. There's so many different layers to the stories that we've told ourselves. Like, if you can even only just understand the power that you have within you in terms of energy, like, think of this, you have 50 trillion cells in your body that are all responding to you. Everything you think about, everything you put your attention on, even when you don't even realize, even when it's at a subconscious level, right? Every time you're putting your awareness on something, and whether it's passively or actively, right? Your cells are listening. You're the master, but your body is responding to you. And so every time you do that, this is so much is happening within you, right? But also you're asking for a reoccurrence of that. So whether you're aware of it or not aware of it, you're still coordinating the system and you're steering the ship in that direction. If you could understand the power that we have been given, like, if we are able, and our ancient ancestors knew this, if we can align the subconscious with the conscious mind, and we can realign the thinking, realign the program, realign the beliefs on every level, you will be unstoppable. You're either in lack or you're in abundance. You cannot be in two places at the same time, and there's no middle way. So when you're saying, I want to believe, I want to believe, you're saying you don't believe it. You're coming from a place of lack. And that is where you've got to check in with yourself. So a great thing that you can do is set an alarm on your phone to go off a few times during the day. Actually, the more often, the better, right? That basically is saying, check in, check abundance, check in, right? What you need to do is catch yourself when you're thinking in lack. What you need to understand is that everything is available to you. We only see what we are tuned in to seeing. We only hear what we're tuned in to seeing. We're receiving the signal. The same signal that you're emitting out is the one that you will be receiving. So I want to tell you a story about me. I had heard of time shifting. I was like, what does that even mean? One day I went into the supermarket that I had been going into for over 20 years. Usually when I stepped in there, I would see the same people, the same faces, the same music, the same everything. That particular day, I walked in and it was unrecognizable. And then I'm seeing people I'd never seen before. In over 20 years that I've been going, I didn't recognize anyone. You're on a signal, you're on a frequency range. That frequency range that you are emitting right now is attracting your current circumstances, all the people in your life, all the situations in your life, and everything else. you are resonating at a vibe and you're attracting to you the people that resonate on that same frequency, right? When you go down to a lower frequency, when you're feeling fear or sadness or anger, I bet you will attract people that you don't want to see, that you don't want to hear from, and all of that, and circumstances and problems and everything else. What we need to do is consistently elevate our energy. Cymatics is the ability to see sound in patterns, visible patterns. You get a square metal plate, right? And you put in the center of the square metal plate, you put sand. You attach the square metal plate to a speaker system, and then you put a tone, a frequency on the speaker system. What you'll see happen, you'll see the sand starts to dance, and then it merges itself and reorganizes itself into patterns. And if you change the tone to a different frequency, right, you go slightly higher, it will form a more complex pattern. And as you continue to ramp the energy up and up and up and up and up, the pattern gets even more complex. So it's sound that has become visible. So you see how you raise the vibration, the more complex the structure. This is the same for us, and it's the same for what we can achieve. If you look at Dr. Masaru Emoto, the Japanese scientist who proved that water has memory, he spoke words to the water, right? And then froze the water. You could see complex patterns like snowflakes form. The words that were given hatred, like negative words that were spoken to through negative words, did not form beautiful patterns. They were distorted patterns. But attention, it wasn't the words. It's the intention behind the words. It's the feeling, it's the vibration, it's the frequency that we emit when we say words. So it's not just the words, although they do have power, it's the word matched to the emotion which creates frequency. That has the power to manipulate matter. The more you step into your power and you leave behind those narratives that are not serving you, you just drop them. You'll see a collapse in time, and you'll time shift like I did. So what happened to me when I came out of that supermarket, I went, whoa, that's how you time shift. And I realized what had happened. I had been on this certain frequency previously that had allowed me to go into the supermarket at the exact time that people on my frequency were resonating at. You know, like a hot air balloon. If you put all your baggage in there, if you take a load of suitcases, onto that hot air balloon, it's never going to lift off. It's never going to fly because you're weighing it down. And that's the same with our baggage, our emotional baggage, our, old thinking patterns, the labels, the old stories we used to tell ourselves. It's those stories that are weighing us down, stopping us from rising and stopping our energy from, shifting to the next level. We've just got to learn to let go. We don't need them anymore. We've outgrown them. We've outgrown the old us. It's time to embrace the new.